Hi everybody and welcome back to MD Fly Fishing. Well, I managed to get out this week on 3 consecutive days for a couple of hours each dinner time. The weather was horrible. It was just so windy. And I caught some very good fish fishing this one particular snatcher. It accounted for 80% of my fish. I don't think any of them was under £1.5 pounds. But I had a great week. It amounted to roughly a day's fishing, spread over 3 days. Anyway, let's see how I get on. The water's still quite high, but the wind, for 3 consecutive days, it was coming from a westerly straight into your face, and you can only fish the right bank at the moment due to high water. So try and get it into shaded areas, cast in between the gusts. So I moved up behind the back of the boathouse. I was on intermediate line. It's a weight forward, so there's a bit of a punch in it. I'm waiting for a lull. Had these snatchers on with the yellow cheeks. Cast them up the banking in front of foliage, trees, things of that description. And literally 2 or 3 casts, I hooked into my first fish. Put a little bit of a fight up. It wasn't to be. It got off. So, not being deterred, I decided I'm going to have another go for it. If there's one there, there's bound to be another one. Cast out again, let it drop, took the rod under my arm and just did a medium roly-poly, keeping the fly moving. Slight stop once in a while, but then the fish hit it. But yet again, my net is off to my side, making my way down for it. And this is where the first disappearing fish comes into it. As I'm about to land it, thinking it's about to drop into the net, I lift the net, and all I do is help the fish get off the barbless hook. Well, it's looking promising.
Oh, you ratbag!
80% of the fish caught this week on the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was on this snatcher, and I was sticking with it because the fish were loving it. Not too long ago I was hooking 10, 15 fish using a beaded spider. They weren't having it this week, so I stuck with a snatcher. So anyway, moved up to this nice position that I love, and well, let's take it from here. On some areas of the water, if you've got waders on and it is high water, there's 1 or 2 points where you can actually go out 2 or 3 feet. This will get you clearance so you can cast down the banks a little bit better. Otherwise, if you've got wellies on in this particular position, you're not going to achieve anything. Now, I'd basically set my camera up, walking into the water, getting the fly ready, getting the line ready. Now, I'm not after the fish that's directly in front of me. I'm after the ones down the sides. So from here, I've cast out the line 2 or 3 rod lengths, letting it settle, get the GoPro out of my pocket, get it on the head, tuck the rod under my arm, and straight away I'm doing quite a fast roly-poly. Because if you don't take it on a fast roly-poly, then I can drop the speed down. Well, I didn't have to slow it down on this one. Fish hit it straight away. First cast. I came to this particular part of the water due to an individual, sorry I can't remember your name, he was already in the area of the Pixies doors. I remember him saying to me that it hasn't fished here for like 2 seasons, so I don't know if he'd been watching my videos that gave him a bit of inspiration to come out. I didn't see him after that because I'd walked back down the water after about 40 minutes and he'd gone. He might have gone to another area completely. This was a nice omen. I'd only been on the water literally 15 minutes and most of that was walking to the spot of where I am. As I say, this is filmed over 3 days, but the wind didn't change at all. It was horrible. But as you got further up the water towards Baitings Dam, the actual wind subsides a little bit, mainly due to the massive wall of that reservoir. So on this day, which is Wednesday, I'd moved further up the water and fishing up by the bench, casting it out into this expansive water, intermediate line, 12-foot leader. And in this case, I had a Bibio snatcher. I've got a gentleman that makes them all for me. I've got about 60 odd different variants. And this week, they've been brilliant. So, this week's first fish. On the Friday when I was in this area, tried to fish a team of 3 buzzers because the wind was coming in from the right. I could cast out here quite happily, but when you were rigging it up, you had like an 18-foot leader, 3 flies on it, and where the foliage is beneath my feet, it just forever got tangled in there. If it wasn't the first buzzer, it was the dropper, or the second dropper, or the first dropper. I gave up after a while. I just want Yorkshire Water to OK our boathouse so we can get our boats out. But at the moment, all the boats are in dry dock until Yorkshire Water gives us a thumbs up. Anyway, let's get this one sorted.
Video. Come on.
Now these 3 fish I caught in a period of half an hour, 1:30 to 2 o'clock. The original snatcher with the yellow cheeks, intermediate line, brought it back, roly-poly, hooked the fish in half an hour. I'd actually taken my head cam off because I thought nothing's going to happen, and then it was fish, fish, fish. Don't rely on technology. The background footage is taken from something else. But 3 nice fish, and the best ones, and my personal best from this place, is coming up shortly. I did say 80% of the fish for these 3 days were caught on the snatchers with the yellow cheeks. This gentleman also made me some Cape McLarens, actually beautiful, originals and pearls. So on the Wednesday later, before I left, I actually decided to give one of them a try. I seen the odd fish knocking around up to my right by the trees, so let's have a go at them. First time. This guy can make flies. They're brilliant.
We're up.
This is another example of where's my net off to the left, because I wander up and down this banking. Even when I was fishing off the point, there was fish rising behind me, and from that position you can actually do a decent back cast to try and cover it. But these cates, I don't think this thing even went under the water. I think it had landed, and before the intermediate started sinking and taking the leader down, I think the fish that was in that area had seen it, popped up to grab it. It slightly moved because I think I started my retrieve then, and it took it within a foot of it moving, 2 foot possibly, but more than happy with these cates.
What are you in there? You know why? I did it that way.
Now the GoPro footage here is terrible. It's not my normal GoPro. I put a new one on. My older one's got super view, good stabilisation, everything. I think it's a 2018. This one, it must have been on wide angle, so it was a lot closer. Stabilisation's not as good on it, but these are the best 2 fish I have caught out of here. Originally, I was about to pack up and go home, but as I walked past this place by the Pixies doors, I thought, one last cast, just one last cast. So I replaced the leader, 14 foot, single snatcher on it, intermediate line, cast it out as far as I could, and I did get caught up a few times because the wind is coming right in my face. Brought it back, medium figure of 8. 1 fish took on the surface, 1 fish took slightly down about 2 foot. The water's clearing up here, and I am so glad I didn't walk past it. As I say, this is one of my best browns I've had out of here, about £3 plus, and the other second one, that was just slightly under. There's a lot of fish in this water, and there are some big ones. You can probably see from the view the other side of the bank. No one can get anywhere near it without our boats. We need to get them out. Yorkshire Water need to get them sorted out with this boathouse. But memorable day, just a bit pity about the video footage. Good job I got some nice pictures with my phone. Turned out to be a really good 3 days. As I say, just a couple of hours each dinner time, probably equated to a full fishing day. And what's that in terms of price? 30p a day, less than £1. I love fishing this water. If you want to have a go yourself, I'll leave a link in the description. Let's carry on. The 3 days is not over.
Get off. That's a decent brown. popper on the end.
On the Wednesday when I was fishing up here, I was thinking what a popper fly would do, bouncing it off the waves. That's why I mentioned it at the beginning. So get it out, bring it across the water, see if any fish would take it. So that was going to be my next plan of action. But no, this snatcher again got me another fish.
Oh, we're on. We're off. We're on.
I'm actually going to correct myself here. This is actually taken on the Friday. The reason why I know that is I've got a small net because I only brought a rucksack because I had to walk here. Car had gone in for a service. So I had my travel rod, small net, tucked up my vest and everything inside the rucksack and just walked here. Didn't even have my waders with me, so I couldn't go out to my favourite point, just my work boots. These 3 days dinner time fishing have all been possible because my wife's off for 2 weeks. So it looks like next week, if the wind drops, I can go out again. I'm a fully paid up member. But this has been a fantastic week for me. I hope you've not all been bored by it. I'm trying to hook up with 1 or 2 subbies that want to come out and fish it. I'll be your gilly for day. I'll give you as much information to catch fish here. And for £115 a year, you can fish it 365 days a year. But anyway, I'm going to sign off now. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Coming up to 5,000 subs. Brilliant. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the dislikes. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you all soon.